Hi, it's Will from StormTheCastle.com, and here on YouTube you know me as Epic Fantasy, and this is my latest tutorial. This is, you could guess, a helmet. That's right. This is the Dragon Age Inquisition helmet. I believe the helmet's called the Flames of the Inquisition. Fun project. Of course, I give you the template, and it's no paper mache. It's all masking tape and cereal box cardboard, and so it makes it a little less messy. Fun project, fun helmet. Thanks for watching my videos. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing. If not, hit that button. I always have lots of fun and interesting tutorials. And hey, listen, if you do Facebook, make sure you check out StormTheCastle.com on Facebook. You can stay updated on projects that I have coming up. Thank you. Dioramas, origami, catapults, and treasure stays, telescopes, terrariums, bonsai trees, and paper games, swords and shields, and real blacksmithing, model rockets, animation. I teach the art of real creation. StormTheCastle.com. Let's make something. All right, let's get started. We're going to use corrugated cardboard here to get our basic structure. Cut yourself a couple of long pieces that are 2 inches wide. And make sure the corrugations go the short distance, the 2-inch distance from side to side. Don't make the corrugations the long way because it's easy to bend it this way. And then tape them together like this so they form like an X near the bottom, near the end, like that. That is going to go on your forehead. And then cut them like this so you have a nice little V. See that? Now you're going to form this into a loop, a circle, that's big enough to fit on your head. And give yourself an inch or two of extra room so it's comfortable on your head. You don't have to squeeze it on. So find the right size and then tape that together. Now cut yourself a couple of long strips of 1-inch cardboard, 1 inch wide. We're going to start to make the shape of this helmet and you'll see what I mean. You can soften it up a little bit so it'll form well. And as been before, make the corrugations go from side to side. You can see the corrugations? So take one and tape it here. And then you can staple this too, but if you staple it, make sure you cover that staple with tape or duct tape so it doesn't scratch your head at any point. You can't scratch yourself. Form it in a loop that fits on your head comfortably, like this, and trim it. See, so that's from the front to the back, with the V being right in the front on your forehead. And then put another one across that one from side to side, kind of from ear to ear. See, so now you've got like a little bowl shape. See that? That's the basic shape of your helmet. Now distort it a little bit by pressing on it and shaping it. So see how the front on the left there is a little bit lower? So it kind of slopes a little towards the back. See that slope? A little bit more in the back, like that. Get a good look. That's going to give you a nice helmet look. So now we're going to fill out this helmet. And one of the nice things about this project is we experimented not using any paper mache. We wanted to see if we could do it without paper mache in a nice way, and we did. This is a very strong helmet. It comes out really good. What you do is you cut yourself a bunch of 1-inch strips of cereal box cardboard or something very similar to it, like cardstock. And then you just start at the top like here and add these little shapes like this. You put 1, 2, 3, and 4 of them, right? You start at the top, you put all 4, and this is how you do it. You put it and you measure it, and then you can cut it so they all fit correctly. And glue those on. And then do another layer. And overlap these layers by a little bit, like 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch. See, now this is the next layer, and you go all the way around with 4 of those. See? See what we have there? Then continue it all the way down to the bottom of the helmet. You don't have to go to the very bottom of the helmet. You just have to get, within an inch of the bottom. But here you go, I'll show you a little bit more. So you were starting another layer, overlap it a little bit for strength, go all the way around with all of them. And you don't have to do a perfect job here, but see, in this one I wanted to show you about how far down we go. And then masking tape, put masking tape over the whole helmet. Cover it all up nice. Now you have a pretty strong helmet here. We didn't have the mess of paper mache. And this is very durable. So now cut yourself a 2-inch strip of cardboard like this. And we're going to run that down the front of the mask. Start at the temple, at the forehead. Go all the way across the top to the back end of the mask, the helmet, Trim it and then glue it down. Now, if you want to avoid the corrugation marks, you can cover that with duct tape like this, because duct tape has a nice pattern like that. It's a little flatter and nicer. If you don't like the corrugation marks, but you don't have to do this. The duct tape is optional. So now we're going to make a brim, or kind of like a lip, all the way around the helmet. So fold yourself up some newspaper like this, and you want it to end up with it be about 1.5 to 2 inches wide, like this. See that? You have a strip like that. And then you wrap it around the helmet brim with about 1/2 inch of overlap sticking out the end, sticking beyond the helmet. See it? And then you can pull that up and form a brim. See it? It's like a rim of the helmet. See? See that rim? Now go all the way around the whole helmet with that. We want to make that rim stronger and bigger, so what you do is you get a bunch of pieces of cardboard like this, cereal box cardboard like this, and then glue them to the bottom like this, and they're a little bit longer than the brim. See, we want a nice strong helmet here with no paper mache. So do that all the way around on the inside of the rim. And then do it again on the outside of the rim. See it? You do a layer of pieces of cereal box cardboard like that all the way around the outside. So what we have here is a very strong helmet, nice rim. See it? Like that, go all the way around with those. Then you can trim them to make a nice shape. And then you can tape over them. And the hard part of your helmet is done, I think. See, there you go. Nice, nice. Very good. That's it. I like it. Now do masking tape over all of them, both on the outside and on the inside. So now, in our template, we have this piece here. There are 2 of them. See that cardboard piece? We want to add that now. So cut out the template and trace 2 of those on cereal box cardboard or something very similar. And see the slot down there? Make sure you trace and cut. You're going to cut that too. And I'll show you why, because we're going to overlap that just a little bit. So make 2 of these. And this part here too. That's an extension. Depending on the size of your helmet, you should cut that rectangular piece out and tape it to the end. Like this. See how it's taped to the end on the right there? You can see it just in the distance. And then glue that thing onto the helmet, one on each side. And see the slit now? Now we can overlap it to get it to fold well. And there you go. Looks good. This adds a nice design to the helmet. Do both the left and the right sides. And now we're going to tape it down there and up the top, but don't tape this section in here, because we like that that edge. Now the sides of the helmet that come down along the side of the neck and the ears, got that in the template. Cut that out and make 2 of those. If you don't like the seams in cereal box, you could use something else. Once you've got them made out of your cardboard or your cereal box cardboard, curve them just a little bit like this. See, so it has a nice curve from left to right, and then those little like flames curve out a little bit. Strengthen it up with some corrugated cardboard. Put some pieces in there to keep it strengthened, but don't, distort the curve of it. And you're going to see the curve, what I mean here. And then glue those in. Tape them and glue them, left and right. Take your time with this. Put them in, put a piece of tape, look at it, move it around a little bit until you get it just right, and then you can glue it in. But let's take a look. See? That's what you got, and that's what I mean by curves. So now one remaining piece here is cut yourself a big piece of cereal box cardboard like this and glue it into the back of the helmet. And we're going to take a look at this so you see about what I mean. See, it's kind of like the back of the neck. And you know, you don't have to be too accurate with this. You can kind of adjust it any way you want. Even put the helmet on and make sure it's okay. See, just like that. That's the back piece there. There you go. Now, if you have Mod Podge, go ahead and Mod Podge it. This will seal it and strengthen it. It'll help it take colors better, too. Then Mod Podge the whole thing. Let it dry. Now we're going to make the dragon spine that goes down the center of the helmet. Cut out that part from the template. Put that on cereal box cardboard. And make yourself, we used 14 of them, so make yourself 14 of them. Just, you may have to make more depending on how you space them. And here's an important thing. Put a line right down the middle of it. And then cut them out. And then score that line down the middle with the sharp knife so you can cleanly bend it like this. Yeah, see, it's got a nice bend on it. All right, so go ahead and make yourself 14 of them. Now the dragon's head with horns. That's in the template. Cut that out. Make yourself one on cardboard, cereal box cardboard. And then we beef this out with pieces of newspaper and masking tape to make it a dragon shape. There's 3 parts. The dragon's head and each of the dragon's horns. So, you know, just tinker with this until you get a feel for how the newspaper works and the masking tape so you can tape it. See, it's looking good. Right? You really can't go wrong with this. You just got to tinker with it. So you're sculpting the newspaper. So it looks like that. Very nice. And glue that to the front of the helmet. Right like that. Going to be a little, all right. So there we go. So now let's glue on the dragon spine. Start at the back of the helmet and glue one on with the point pointing downward. Then glue another one on, but it's important to start at the back of the helmet. Just like this, right up against that one. And continue on. Just keep going all the way to the front. See, but doesn't that look good? Look at that. That's nice. When you get them all done, it's impressive. And here's the last one. We finally made it around to the front of the helmet. There you go. Let's take a look. The dragon's head, the dragon's spine. I like it a lot. So as usual, Mod Podge. Oh, and if you don't have Mod Podge, you can use white glue. You can water down the white glue a little bit so it's easy to brush on, but don't water it down a lot. So now let's add some detail to the side panels of this helmet. Draw lines like this on it. Just follow this pattern. You can pause the video if you need to. Like that, like this, and then go back up. And then in the back too, like right here, I'll show you. Not on the back piece, but in the back, you know, side of it. And a line like that. There you go. So now what to do is, with your hot glue gun, you know, make those into ridges. Apply it nice and thick. Do multiple layers if you need be. Just it's like you're drawing lines with hot glue. This is a nice detail you should do. Do them all those lines you drew. And you can look at the picture of my helmet if you want to get a sense for where those lines are. Now let's do some detail work to the dragon, and hot glue is perfect for this. The nostrils, the eyes, the bridge of the nose, see that's like the dragon's skin. And for the horns, you do a long, thick line right down the center of the horns. This is going to look good when painted. And then you do the ridges like that. On this side and on the other side of the center line. See it? Doesn't that look good? Do both horns. So now, let's paint it. We're using a 50-50 mix approximately of Mod Podge and black paint. The Mod Podge gives it nice depth and thickness. If you don't have any, just go ahead and paint it. So paint the whole thing black. And one thing to be cautious of, if you have any weak spots, like our weak spot is in the back of the neck. So what we did was painted everything else first and saved that back section to paint black later, once everything was dry. That way we didn't have to support it on the helmet. Let's put some rivets, 4 on each side of the helmet. 1, 2, 3, 4. See it? This side and the other side. And you can do these before you paint it if you want. So now once all of that is dry, we can paint that back section of the helmet. And if you want to avoid this, you could, do a double layer of something. But now we can set it down and it'll dry without being distorted or crumpled. And we can set it down on the top of the helmet. Painting. A little bit of brown paint. Spray paint if you have it. All right, some silver paint. A little bit of gold, a little bit of black, and maybe a touch-up, one final touch-up with silver. And that's it. You have made the Dragon Age Inquisition helmet. If you make this project, send me a picture. I will send you a certificate of contribution. A little bit of details. Paint some blood splatter on the front of the helmet. Maybe paint the dragon's eyes red. See, like I did there. Looks good, and it's very durable. Thanks for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing to my channel. If you're not a subscriber, hit that button. I always have lots of fun and interesting and very creative projects. I do 2 new ones every week. As an example, here's a couple more videos you might want to watch.